Welcome back to Take Two, presented by LeftRightPolitics.com. Discussion of the times and current events. I'm joined as always by Adam Matlack and Mike Pomerantz. Today I'd like to know, is it time to declare Twitter a public good?
I would like to declare Twitter something that just goes away. And the irony is, I enjoy it so much. I spent hours. Yesterday was a crazy big day. I had so many things to think about, to comment on, and I was on there for hours. It was entertaining. It was informative. It was great. But if I had a choice, if I could flip a switch and make it go away tomorrow, I definitely would do that. This issue with Trump and Twitter and the so-called First Amendment application. I mean, I guess what we're talking about is if you make it a public space, like the town square, like the area in Philadelphia in front of City Hall, then you have a place where people know the rules. And the rules are that the government shall make no law, and that's the First Amendment. The problem that you just brought up, Richard, before we even started, is that there's people all over the world using Twitter. So which rules apply? And I look, one thing we know is basically hasn't changed. Adam, you were saying this. It hasn't changed in 10 friggin' years. There's zero innovation. Okay. And let us look at what really moves the needle on Twitter. It's people trying to really kill each other, like trolls and president. And there's some good, but there's a lot of bad. I think the outcome, the place where we are now, especially where we're having this conversation of like, should the president be allowed to just say whatever he wants, regardless of whether there's truth in what he's saying? And should someone come along and act as his editor on this platform where he has 80 million followers? The problem with this is and I don't quite understand how this works, but I'd love to do a research paper on it or something. The problem is in the architecture of the device. The Twitter device has a flaw. I'm not saying it needs to be thrown out, but man, they need to take this. Remember, I like to use Apple stuff. I remember many years ago, there was a whole number of years where we stopped talking about Apple. This is before the iPhone. This is before those pretty iMac with colors, or maybe it was after the colors, but before the metal ones. Anyway, the company had enough money, it had enough backing that it could kind of go chill for a while and not like worry too much about scrutiny. Twitter can't do that. And that's why this question is interesting. You can't take Twitter offline or kind of like chill it out for a while and make it better. All the resources have to be put into like trying to keep it from flying apart and keep it. So it's been anti-innovation. They have a major flaw. I won't say it's a failure, but they have a major flaw about how it really promotes people feeling bad about each other and themselves. And then, it's unregulatable at this point because, and this is in one of my upcoming articles, you take Trump off and Twitter is going to go away. You take Twitter away from Trump and Trump goes away. Neither one wants to go away. So as long, I mean, and then the way they're doing this, I mean, we're recording this on the 28th. Trump's trying to crank out some kind of executive order. It's not going to be legally sound, I assure you. And it's just like, this is all seat of the pants. This is all last minute reactionary BS. What you should do is, get really smart people, I'm available, in a room and try and figure out how this thing got so messed up and start to come up with a phased plan to fix it rather than being like, everything's so terrible. Here's an executive order. I'm the most powerful man in the world. I mean, look, I'd love it if he sent Bill Barr over to Jack's house, walk him out in handcuffs, but it's not going to
Okay, so I have this dissonance going on in me, and it shows as I sat here thinking about everything you had to say about all that. I really sat there and I was like, you know what? I sat there and just for a second, I was like, it is a public good. It is. It is a public good. It is something that every people should have rights to and people should have access to and throw off the guards. And then that little thing called logic just got popped up in my head. I was like, wait a second. No, it's not. It's not even close to a public good. It's simply a website that they built in 6 weeks back in '05. It could easily be and has been replicated by multiple other companies. The government could create one if they wanted to within minutes. It's an SMS based platform. It's not complicated. There's nothing special about Twitter other than the fact that that's where everybody already is at. There's nothing that protects my right to access an app for Twitter or any other app for that matter, unless it's something that's I paid for, I guess, at that point. But even then, the private company can refund my money and take the app away from me. I mean, it's interesting because at the heart of it, like, I'm this pro-liberty person to the nth degree, and even myself, I sit there and think this is wrong, this is unfair, we should fix it. How should we fix it? We should force our views on other people. And I'm no, I'm not immune to that thought either, obviously. And so I sit here humbled by thinking, just having seen that. I mean, look, the idea that Trump is upset that Twitter is trying to curb his voice or whatever he wants to claim makes tons of sense from Trump's side of things, right? It just reinforces this BS lie that, oh, everybody's out to get him, and that it's his war against media, and Jack's no different. And it's smart. Like, I got to give it to Trump once again. Like, push that out, reinforce the narrative, makes a ton of sense. Is it getting us anywhere? No. And I had this conversation with my dad the other day, and he has been a pro-Trump guy for a long time, because he just teamed under the rulership of Obama. He just couldn't stand Obama. I was just like, I could never figure out why. I mean, Obama got nothing done and was lame duck beyond lame ducks. And I was just like, it sounds great. He's normal, but he was all for Trump. And then he used a word that I was really proud of. He called him juvenile. And I was like, dang, that's a really good word for Trump. Like there are small, minute things that Trump has done well. There are things that he's done really bad. But the worst thing that Trump's done is that he's made a mockery of the presidency in a juvenile way. And he's talking about stuff that's juvenile. Man, I wish Jack would take away his Twitter. I wish Twitter would dump him, because I think it would be awesome to watch. I don't know what the outcome would be. I haven't gamed that one out, but man, I kind of wish they did. You're talking about how you wish Trump puts Jack in handcuffs. I wish Jack would kick him off his platform. I think it'd be hilarious. You're muted.
Sorry, don't rule out either possibility. I think both of these guys are going to get more and more twitchy and itchy. Jack will go with the Zen master, like, I just want to stay out of it. I'm not the bad guy here. And Trump will just get more and more hair on fire, enraged. And it is going to be a total popcorn moment as we go down this, because it's not going to end today, especially if they keep doing this. And the signal that they sent when they put the label on 2 of his tweets was one thing. But then overnight, they labeled the shit out of a bunch of other tweets. So they're like, you're not going to be able to say we're just doing you. Yeah, I remember, I will brag that I have had my Twitter account since 2008. And at the time, the purpose was because I was reading about all this funny stuff related to the Phillies run up to the World Series that year. And like, if you watched a game and watched Twitter back in 2008, you'd be crying from laughter. It was, and like, I'm into baseball, but I never knew there could be this running commentary of just some weird ass people with amazing sense of humor and a love for the Phillies that I have. So when you say juvenile, I mean, it's almost like it was intended for children. And maybe there should be an age limit. Maybe once you get up to 50, no more Twitter. We're cutting you off. But yeah, I mean, I think that the platform, and I applaud your dad getting to that realization. And maybe there's like an element of truth to it. That's part of, just a quick side note. I mean, Trump's genuineness to his beloved followers is like the great thing about it. To people like me, it is the revealing part of his failure. Like, he always just tells you how stupid he is. I mean, just try a little disinfectant in your veins. It'll be good. So it's, on the one hand, it's kind of smoked him out and shown what a incredible crazy person, how unqualified he is, how uneducated he is. But at the same time, I don't think it's a public good. I don't think it's being used in the right way. It certainly has not adapted in a way that fits the current plan of usage, the pattern of usage. And it was fun, and it's still a great source of information. But man, it's causing a lot of problems, and I just think nobody's trying to fix that. It's really a shame.
The disruption that Twitter has offered in many cases is in my opinion, a net positive. But I don't think Twitter's to blame for hate being spewed by people and arguments being spun up. I mean, I see the same hate on Facebook. If anything, I see it more direct, more personal. It feels more personal on Facebook. I don't know why. Maybe, I mean, when I'm attacked on Twitter, it's kind of this, maybe it's because it's a limited response, maybe because they can only say so much in one tweet. But I mean, it is, I don't believe it's this devolution of society and how we're treating people, and how there's this disconnect from a screen where it's like, that's not a real person, this is somebody else. And it's like we talk about all the time, they're just an idiot, they don't see it the way I see it, so they're wrong. I'm right, they're wrong. And it's just this constant reinforcement in the distance of this person is in this phone. There's someone out there, not even a person, they're an animal, they're a racist, they're a bigot. And I mean, it's just, you go down the line and the civility has all but completely disappeared in most cases. And so I don't know if Twitter's to blame for that. I think it's just like this technological barrier that's been created, and just politicalization of everything. It's depressing. But I hope we can move beyond it. I hope Twitter doesn't die, because I'm with you. I think Twitter's sport commentary is one of the core reasons why it's good still today. And I follow that stuff. I'm on Twitter. It's the only social platform that I use every day by a wide margin. And it's the ability to follow people you don't know, and to see and to peer into what they want to share in a intellectual and stimulation reality. Like, it is very powerful. If you're not following Naval and some other people, you're missing out. And so it's so much better than Facebook. I can't believe it, but the reality is that there's no way it's a public good. I hope all of us mini authoritarians deep inside, we realize that competition is the key here. If you don't like it, go use something else.
All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you both for your thoughts. If you enjoyed our discussion, be sure to like and subscribe below, and let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks again. We hope you join us for the next edition of Take Two, presented by LeftRightPolitics.com.